Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Igcse. Today we are going to look at theorems. And before we get into details, just in case you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please press that subscribing button so that you'll be the first one to receive that notification once I have uploaded a new video. Okay, so now, theorems, this topic sometimes it tends to be a bit of a challenging topic for certain students, but you shouldn't be worried about that, because today we are going to have some key points which you require in order for you to be working on these questions. So the first key point I would like to point out is that in order for you to be good at answering these questions, you're supposed to have the knowledge of angles. And you're going to realize that there are certain syllabi. For example, when you talk about the Igcse syllabus, the Igcse syllabus assumes that the students either from grade 10 to 12, they may have already done angles. And therefore, it's not allocated, there is no portion for a teacher to teach angles in class. But they will still teach this topic, which requires you to have the knowledge about angles. So now, if you are in that situation, what do you have to do? The best you can go about that is just to get back to a grade 8 textbook and study the angles, revise the angles. It doesn't matter whether you are using a grade 8 book or whatsoever. What matters most is your knowledge, you ensuring that you have got that prerequisite knowledge for it to help you work out such kind of questions. But when you go for Igcse syllabus, in that syllabus, likely the teacher has to teach angles, and that really helps out where the teacher starts with angles. After finishing the angles, then they proceed to theorems. Without wasting much of your time, we can go through this question. Now, when you are working out these theorems, there are properties which you need to work on. Like you need to know what a radius is, what a diameter is, what a chord is, a cyclic quadrilateral, and the tangent, because you need the knowledge of knowing what happens when the tangent meets a line, and that line passes through the center. And what happens when two tangents intersect? What happens? All those things, you really need to make sure that you sit down and understand those properties, and this topic will be a walkover. So now, in the diagram, A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference. Circumference means the circle of a circle with center O. BD is equal to AD, we've indicated these symbols, and ADB is equal to 40 degrees. ADB is equal to 40 degrees. This is the angle which has been given. Now, so in order for us to answer this question, the job for us is to just make sure, even before we start looking at these questions here, your job, if you are able to just find all the angles which have not been given in this particular diagram, it will be just easy for you as that. So, in this case, since you have already been given this, so we can work with the triangle ABD. Triangle ABD, you have been told that AD and BD are equal. That means that their base angles must be the same. So, I'll assume this is my angle, this angle here will be my x, and this one will also be my x. So I'll be like x plus 40. This must be equal to 180 degrees. From here, when we add these, we get to x. X plus x equals 2x. We group right terms, so 180 minus 40. This positive 40 goes the other side, comes negative 40. So 2x is equal to 140 we divide by 2, divide by 2. So our angle x will be equal to 70. So what does that mean? It means that since we have our angle 70, it means that this angle here is 70 degrees. So remember, we are talking about angle BAD being 70 and angle ABD being 70 degrees. So having done that, also again we use the properties where the angle at the center is twice the angle in the circumference, provided that those angles are being subtended by the same arc. So when we talk about the same arc, we are talking about arc AB. So we can see that this angle ADB and angle AOB are being subtended by the same arc. This is the same arc. Therefore, if as long as this is the center, it means that this angle at the center will be twice the angle and the circumference. So what does that help us with? Meaning when we multiply 2 times 40, we are going to get the angle here, which is 80 degrees. So having found 80 degrees, this angle now can help us to find the angles inside the triangle ABO or AOB or OAB, this triangle. So now what do we do? Again, this is the radius. AO is a radius and BO is also a radius, meaning their base angles must be the same. So again now I will just assume this angle now inside here is 1. So y plus 80, this must give us 180 because angles in a triangle add up, because we have to remember that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 2y is equal to 180, take away 80. So 2y is equal to 100. Divide by 2, divide by 2, we divide y will be equal to 50 degrees. 50 degrees. So what does that imply? It implies that the angle here now from here to here, this is 50 degrees. Even this side from here to here, that's 50. Remember, this 70 degrees angle is for the angle, for the triangle ABD or DAB. Or maybe let me put it this way. Instead, let me use the mark, black marker. 50 degrees. So we are talking about this angle being 50 degrees. Again, even that this other angle from this triangle, which has to do with A point A, B, and D. Those are 50 degrees angles. Then having done that again, we have to know that as long as any shape which has got 4 corners and it touches, all those 4 corners are touching the circle, that particular shape is referred to as a quadrilateral. Now that quadrilateral, since it is touching, all its corners are touching the circle, it becomes a cyclic quadrilateral. I think the word cyclic comes from the word circle. So it is inside the circle, so it is termed as a cyclic quadrilateral. And opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So we can see that this angle is opposite. A and C are opposite angles, and B and D is also an opposite angle. So what do? We are going to just, you can see angle BAD, which has to do with the cyclic quadrilateral, is equivalent to 70 degrees. So we are going to add 70 plus BCD. That must be equivalent to 180 degrees because angles, opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral are to 180. So BCD is equal to 180 minus 70. So BCD will be equal to 110 degrees. So this angle here becomes 110 degrees. So having found all these angles, we can easily now go for these angles which we have been asked to find. But before I go to that, you can see that here from here, this angle up to here, this is 50. And then we know that this whole angle up to here is 70. So what does it imply? It implies that when we subtract 50 from 70, we are going to remain with this angle which is remaining here. So this will be 20 degrees. Even this side, we are going, this angle which is remaining here will be 20 degrees. Now let us take a look. Find angle AOB. AOB. The letter O is what is being asked here, so we can see here that we have 80 degrees. BCD, so we come BCD. It is 110 degrees. OBD. It is 20 degrees. So this is how you basically work out such kind of a question. Thank you for watching this video, and for those who are doing Gcse, this question came in the Gcse paper for 2023. So for those who are going to be writing the exams in the next weeks, this can be very helpful. But please, like I said earlier on, revise on the properties and also revise on the angles. Thank you for watching.